Colleagues, I rise in support of the bill package. I think this is a good day for Michigan. I think this is a great day for Michigan, although I do agree with my former colleague that it's good that it's raining today because rain signals rebirth. Rain signals new things coming. In our communities, I think that's what's going to happen. Before 2011, here in Michigan, we had these brownfield and historic tax credits. And at the time, we were doing about $450 to $500 million worth of credits and investments in our communities. And when that was eliminated in 2011, it went away. We unilaterally disarmed. And economic development folks in communities throughout the state, Democrat or Republican, liberal, conservative in the middle, all those folks kind of groaned a little bit because they lost an important tool. We gave up on revitalizing our communities. And that was a big deal, and I can't say it any better than the former mayor from the current 85th district. But I think that these bills are going to change that. These bills are going to let us reinvest in our hometowns. I want to talk a little bit about some of the projects that went on before the brownfield credits were eliminated in 2011. That these bills will, I think, once again, incent. In the city of Alma, there was the Alma Iron and Metal and also the Merrill Fabricators. The city of Belding, they used it for the Richardson Mill. In Benton Harbor Township of St. Joseph, they used it for a combined Harbor Shores project. In Brighton, it was the Expansion and Retooling Project, which was 105 new jobs, along with 171 jobs retained. In Detroit, you had the Book Cadillac and the Argonaut Building, the CompuWare headquarters, and the Doubletree Hotel. In Flint, we had the Durant Hotel. In Farmington Hills, they turned an old abandoned garage dump into a golf course, and there were many rounds of golf played on that. In Grand Rapids, you had the Urban Institute of Contemporary Arts. You had some new medical facilities, and they had a 100-year-old high school that was turned into 180 residential condominiums. I'm going to go through a few more, but I'm not going to take too much of your time. In Jackson, Consumers Energy used this, and it resulted in 150 new jobs and about 1,400 jobs retained. In Lansing, in my district, they used it for the Accident Fund building, East Village, and others. And I can tell you personally that Accident Fund building had been sitting vacant for a very long time. It was an old power plant, and we were able to use the brownfield tools at the time to redevelop it, which we couldn't do that now. We don't have that available to us unless these bills are passed. In Ludington, they had waterfront condominiums, 2 professional office buildings, and a downtown grocery store, which is close to my heart. In Monroe, you had the Vinover Industries. I may pronounce that wrong. My apologies. Which is a clean energy wind tower manufacturing plant, and they used it for several former paper mills. In Mount Pleasant, you had the historic Borden Building. Muskegon had the Benton Auto Dealerships and the Muskegon Mall. In Newaygo, they had a stream facility. In Saginaw, they had Corvus Nodular. In Sterling Heights, you had BAE, Robovent, Chrysler, and the Macomb Group. Sturgis had the Kirch Lofts and Kirch Industrial Park. Traverse City had the Village at Grand Traverse Commons and Common Ridge. In Troy, you had Midtown Development, and others. So this is a tool that has successfully been used in the past. This is evidence-based. We can show that this had been used. We got rid of it. Now it's time to bring back a new version. That's what these bills do. The bills preserve local control. They ensure that the locals have to sign off first. The bills preserve state control. The MEDC has to sign off and has to be the one that ensures that this project wouldn't happen but for this incentive. So this is not money we're giving away. This is money we never would have had. But we are going to see the fruits of those developments. We're going to see more jobs and more workers and a boosting economy, along with redeveloped buildings and things that make our communities look like the places where talent wants to be. And we talk about that a lot. Places where talent wants to be. This is more limited in scope than the previous law, and I like that. The previous law, one of the bigger problems they had was that the credits could be sold. So you saw many companies who had these credits, and they would sell it, and they would all end out in the hands of one bigger company who would then have no tax liability, and that was a problem. So we're not going to have to face that now. So with all of these issues, and there's a piece of this that's for neighborhoods, which I really like. You know, we have a lot of our communities where we talk about commercial redevelopment, and we're seeing a lot of that come back, but we don't talk as much about our neighborhoods as we probably should. And these bills have an allowance for one of these to be used in neighborhoods. It's also limited in scope. So we limited it to only a certain number, to 5, and we said smaller communities can have less investments. So the bills were made better in committee. So I don't know why we wouldn't support this. I think that these bills are going to help us to show that Michigan is a great place. It's a place where you want to live, work, and play. The governor wants us to get over 10 million people, and this is something we can use to attract people to our Michigan communities, whether it's rural or urban, to our downtowns, to our suburbs. And I really hope that this body will support these bills, and I look forward to a few years from now coming back and knowing that we did the right thing, because I'm going to go community to community and check it out. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative.